of the Eastern Seaboard. The imbizo is the second leg of the envisaged development that will run along a 600-kilometre stretch between the eThekwini Metro in KwaZulu-Natal and Buffalo City Metro in the Eastern Cape. It includes the development of the N2 toll road and the development, or rather the building, of two huge bridges. The first leg of the imbizo was held in Kokstad in KZN last month. SABC's reporter Abongile Jantjies is live from Mthatha with more details on this story.
Very good morning to you and to the listeners. We're coming to you from just outside Mthatha, where the provincial government is hosting the Department of Disabilities and Women. The Minister Mngone Mashabane is here. She just gave a presentation on how to take the district model to the province, Desiree. But to tell us more, I am joined by the Premier of the province, Mnumzana Oscar Mabuyane. A very good day to you, sir. Thanks for joining us on this rainy day. Kindly tell us, what do you seek to achieve with this initiative?
Thank you very much, Jantjies. Good morning to you. Also, good morning to viewers. Well, today we are on an awareness program. We are on an information dissemination activity about our Eastern Seaboard development that we've been speaking about. People have heard about this on TVs and radios, newspapers. We're here now to talk directly to stakeholders. We have invited all critical stakeholders here, people who matter most about what we intend doing. This Eastern Seaboard development talks about the development of this new smart city, which we have been speaking about, and with Port St. John's being an anchor or an epicenter for this. It is the only Eastern Cape that you talk about people who are living along the coast but who are so impoverished, so underdevelopment. It also happens here. If you look at our 800-kilometre stretch beyond Kai Mouth going towards south, development is there, you can see it. Beyond Mthamvuna going up north, development is there, you can see it. But if you look at this area of the Wild Coast and inland, it's a problem. And unfortunately for our province, this is a region that has got about 1.5 million people living here, so hugely underdeveloped, so impoverished, together with Alfrenzo being number one in the entire country, followed by OR Tambo. So we are here, both OR Tambo district as well as the province, to talk about this Eastern Seaboard development. We will be getting a comprehensive presentation from MISA, led by Minister Umama Dr. Nkosazana Zuma, as one who's leading this. We have spoken about district development model as an anchor for our new service delivery model. This is where we are. All mayors are here to ensure that this succeeds. We have been speaking about the development of the Wild Coast for more than 2 decades now, but the 6th administration has made it very clear that this time around this must take off, and we are actually quite happy with the national leadership that has been provided by Dr. Nkosazana Zuma to ensure that this program goes forward. We have seen the development already in the Wild Coast, the N2 highway, 2 huge bridges that are being developed. So the potential of tourism in the area, which actually neatly dovetails to this concept of the smart city development that we're talking about. So we're quite happy, but here we are here to tell our people what are the opportunities, focusing on women, focusing on young people, and focusing on people with disabilities, as they must also be mainstream into this. As we've seen, there are disadvantages sometimes. Women actually constitute a bigger part of our population, not only in the province but in the entire country. They must actually be key into this, and we've seen where women are in leadership and are leading, things can move. So we are really looking at that.
One of in your speeches, and every now and again when you deliver your State of the Province address, you mentioned the issue of oceans economy, which hasn't been explored, particularly in these 2 districts, the OR Tambo and the Alfredzo, and the Wild Coast stretches along that side, and the court interdict of the exploration of gas by Shell, which was set to take place, dealt a blow on that. So are you still calling for that, and how can you convince the people who are blocking this initiative from going through?
We're calling for development in this area. regardless, but that must be done in the context of sustainable development. We are disappointed that to what has happened to Shell. We think that that exploration should have been allowed. We are appealing to the environmentalists and even those who are using our ordinary people who are exploiting their suffering here, use them for other things, ulterior motives that are not meant to help them. People in this area literally pack bag and go to Durban, go to Johannesburg, go to Cape Town looking for jobs when they are actually having the natural endowments that can develop them here. So any potential development that comes, we must actually embrace it, make sure that it doesn't undermine. We are looking after our fauna and flora here. We are very sensitive to our biodiversity. Would want to have everyone, any potential investor, to understand that. So we do have a clear policies, clear legislation in South Africa to ensure that we protect that. So it's always disappointing. We do have our Oceans Economy Master Plan, which articulates this overall master plan that we have actually developed to ensure that we look at the potential, the maritime industry in that space, all issues that relates to that. We are looking for this gas, we are looking for this oil. If we can still extract that from the ocean here in the Indian Ocean, why not? Why must it go to Namibia so that our people follow that development to Namibia? So we are still appealing, and it's disappointing that every time initiatives of this nature are happening, other people will always make sure that they block them. So it's an indictment. It's unfortunate to the future generation of this province. But this time around we have said this province must be integrated. We have said it before that we might be peripheral to the center, but we are the center of the periphery. We should be able to be integrated to the national economic development initiatives. And we are quite happy that the government, the sixth term, is responding accordingly to all these initiatives that we are seeing.
Okay, Premier, there are floods in the areas of Port St. John's. What can you say to the people of the Eastern Cape in these rains? And there are floods, and it seems as though it's terrible in that side since it's coming from the side of KZN. So what can you say to the people of the province during these times?
Firstly, we would like to take this opportunity to extend our heartfelt condolences to the families that have lost their loved ones, particularly in KZN. We've seen that more than 40 people have already been perished through these floods. We're seeing those floods also engulfing our Port St. John's. It's a challenge that we have. It's an issue that we have been always talking about, of the climate change. We are working very hard as government to ensure that where possible we can help and save. Our teams are on the ground in Port St. John's from the district coordination, the disaster coordination centers, to ensure that we bring relief necessary to those communities. So we are working very hard, and we think that we see it still continues, still very bringing all these hazards, but we want to say our people must also exercise restraints and be cautious as they see that the weather continues to be terrible out there.
I thank you so much for your time, sir. Well, Desiree, that was the Premier of the Eastern Cape, Oscar Mabuyane, telling us about this initiative that's been rolled out here today, part of the district model. He says that they're hoping that these engagements will yield positives in terms of job creation and unlocking the economy of the province. Desiree?
A quick look at your weather prospects and we'll be back.